down. Why isn't this working? Bring it down. For score, and 7 years ago, our forefathers brought forth in this nation so many great beers. Welcome, everybody, to another riveting edition of No. Another riveting edition of The Ghost and the Goat. I'm your host, paranormal investigator, beer enthusiast, Buddy Thayer, welcoming you to join us in yet another adventure into the paranormal. Take me by the hand, and together we'll skip through the fields into the paranormal together. So like always, guys, I usually start with a little bit of sports, and I do 20 minutes of sports, total disclosure. Then I bring in my co-host, Jai, and she's going to be joining us this evening, back from the mighty flu or the mighty illness like we all had over the last few weeks here in New England. Let me take a sip of my beer. Oh, that's so good. And then we're going to bring in tonight's guest. She's a doctor. More on her in about 20 minutes or so. And the paranormal. So this week, guys, I really don't have a ton of sports to bring you. My Red Sox are still a mess. They're atrocious. They've won maybe, a few games here and there. They're not turning any heads. I hate the New York Yankees. They're doing great. A lot of other teams in baseball are doing great, not my Red Sox. So I really have nothing to talk about as far as baseball is concerned. Basketball, the Spurs and the OKC Thunder are battling it out for a spot to face the Knicks, not the Celtics. So who really cares about that? I hate the Knicks. And football. My team, the Dolphins, they're not playing football right now, but I'm guaranteeing they're going to lose at least a few games this season. More on that and all in football later on in the year. I don't want to talk football yet. It's way too early to speculate. It will just give me argina, boys and girls. One thing that won't give me argina is this delicious beer right here. Just a little bit. I'm going to talk about a little bit about this for a second. I'm going to talk about my lovely weekend abroad. So this is as I started the show with the Gettysburg Address, believe it or not, this last weekend, I was in Gettysburg. Lovely town. I love Gettysburg. I went to a few of their breweries. Appalachian Brewing Company. It's okay. It's right there on the main strip in Gettysburg. Right off the main strip. This place, Fourscore Brewing. Holy Lord, I want to get the Three Dudes Brewers down here and do a show. Today I'm drinking their Getty's Brow. It's their, essentially their Pilsner. It's very delicious. It's very smooth. They do a sour that I brought home for the boys, and they're going to absolutely, their eyes are going to roll in the back of their heads. So check out all the good things with Three Dudes Brewers, and I'll be talking about that very shortly. However, like I said, I spent the weekend in Gettysburg. I met my best friend down there, Jeff Ahern. Big cheers, dude. Nice seeing you again. We did, we did Culp's Hill. We did, he's like, hey, dude, you ever been to the visitor center in Gettysburg? I'm like, yeah, well, they have the bathrooms and like you can see talk to the park rangers about it. No. The visitor center in Gettysburg is brand new. It's on the battlefield. No, I don't believe I have. So he took me there. Let me show you something really quick, guys. Really quick, while I have you for a moment. If you happen down to Gettysburg, and like me this weekend, it rained. So I'm a ghost guy. I'm a huge ghost guy. I'm a massive history dork. So I went down there for the history. And I didn't know about this place until Jeff told me about it. And then he took me there. And myself and my girlfriend, we went there. We were just blown away. Do a little quick share screen. Instead of sports, I'm doing history tonight, boys and girls. And join me down that rabbit hole. Share screen. Here we go. As Buddy attempts to navigate the internet. Here we go. We're going to do this one. So you go to the visitor center and you want to invest in this thing called the Gettysburg Cyclorama, Field of Fury. Originally displayed in 1844, this massive, fully restored 360-degree painting places you in the midst of Pickett's charge, which happened on the third day of Gettysburg. On the decisive third day of the battle, like I just said, get ready to see the actual size of Pickett's charge on Gettysburg battlefield. So it's, boys and girls, it's 100 feet long. It goes, as you can imagine, in a giant circle, hence the name cyclorama. It's 30 feet tall. You can see parts of it here in the screen, but this really does it no justice. It's like, it's Pickett's charge. This does it zero justice. It's Pickett's charge in the most intense painting portrait that this Frenchman, he painted. You can see some of it. He paints himself in. It shows the main line. You can see Little Round Top. You can see Culp's Hill. You can see Seminary Ridge. You can see Cemetery Ridge. You can see where the Confederates came as 12,000 plus men across this mile-long battlefield as the Union troops waited for them and absolutely destroyed them as the high mark of the Confederacy was absolutely shot down. Right there on the slopes of Cemetery Ridge. Great, amazing to see that. The museum there is twice as good, if you can even imagine. If you're into history, you might know what I'm talking about. Absolutely phenomenal place. Check it out. My friend's like, "Hey, buddy, you gonna bring your ghost hunting stuff?" I'm like, I don't know, maybe. I've been to Gettysburg, no lie, like 13 times. Not once have I gone ghost hunting. Not once. Why I can feel that presence there. Holy Lord. I can this close to getting to Saxbridge this past weekend. My girlfriend was with me. It was dark. It was like 11:30. She had no idea where we were going. I wasn't going to tell her. We're driving out these back roads. And I said, we're starting to get there. I'm starting to get this heavy feeling in my jaw. I'm like, oh boy. She's like, where are we going? I'm like, it's a surprise. And we get there. We get around the corner. It says, open. I think she knew. She saw the sign. She's like, open dusk till dawn. And I'll close dusk till dawn. So you got to leave. You're going to get us in trouble. We can't get in trouble. I have children. We had to turn around and leave when they go to Saxbridge. That would have been my first ghost hunting bevy at Gettysburg. I've never investigated. While I understand that there's plenty to look at, plenty in Gettysburg. I've heard tons of stories from all over the battlefield, all over the town, the college, the seminary, the cemetery, everywhere in between. I have walked on the peach orchard and sang Dixieland. See if I got a response. I didn't get a response. No big deal. I'm sure there's plenty of time. But I've been to Gettysburg each and every time to enjoy and immerse myself in the history. And it was a Memorial Day weekend. It was a beautiful time to celebrate the heroes, all the people that died there. To give you some idea, 65,000 men marched from Virginia, from the Confederacy, led by Robert E. Lee. They came up a little further north, and then they came down from the north into Gettysburg. And the Union was following them all the way and tracked them right into Pennsylvania. And they met on that field of battle, and it's such a tremendous effort, such a tremendous 3 days in American history. So, guys, if you have the chance, Gettysburg, Antietam, Spotsylvania Courthouse, the Wilderness, Richmond, Appomattox, Cold Harbor, which was amazing. Any of these battlefields up and down the East Coast, check them out, because not only is it history at its best, but if you're a paranormal guy like myself, there's those creepy feelings all over the battlefield. I just absolutely love it. I'm going to take a sip of my beer. So if you folks are going down for the Gettysburg Bash in the next month or so, or you're in Gettysburg for any reason, ghosts or not, stop there at Fourscore Brewing. Fantastic beer. Fantastic. All their beers are great. I absolutely love them. I'll be drinking these tonight. And I also have Blueberry Break. It's by my guys down at Gray Sale. They're known for their Captain's Daughter, but she's a lovely girl. But Blueberry Break is a nice blueberry-ish ale, and it's in this hot weather that I'm having. The hot weather in here in New England is 85 degrees, which is absolutely lovely. It's a nice beer to come home from a long day at work and just crack open and sip a few and do a podcast. And here we go. This is the podcast. Joining me each week, as she always does. Please welcome back to the show. Fresh off of, oh God, aren't we all fresh off of illness? Where the hell's my arrow? Here she is. Welcome back. How you doing?
I'm doing better, much better. How are you?
Good. Did you have the lung butter? Did you have the cough? Is that what it was?
Most of the people in the house had the cough. Mine was more the congestion.
Yeah.
The
in the nose.
congestion, my face was red. Yeah,
Yeah, it
was
sucked,
terrible.
dude. It was.
I
I
had
had.
a fever.
I had a few. They call it bronchitis, but it could have been anything really. I feel that was more of a generalized word for saying anybody that's going to suck for like 3 weeks.
Right.
Um, batten down the hatch. Just drink lots of juice and water, and do your best to not drink beer and do your best to get well. When I thought I felt better, I feel great. I'm going to go back to the gym. Holy shit, that was a mistake. Oh,
Right.
I brought my inhaler with me.
Oh gosh, you needed it, didn't you?
I'm still coughing, dude.
I got the cough. Yeah.
It's horrible. It's horrible. So I hate being sick. I'm glad the spring is finally here, to a degree, I guess. And I'll load my as I talk to you, I'm trying to inadvertently load my introduction. Oh, here we go for tonight's guest. But otherwise, you're feeling good. You're feeling great. You're ready to go.
I'm feeling good now.
All
Everything's
right,
fine.
tremendous. All right, Jai. Joining us this evening, we are happy to be joined by a doctor. She's a PhD. She is a radical visionary, rewriting the rules of the paranormal explanation. As a revolutionist in the field, she shatters conventions with unorthodox approaches and imagination-driven research. She's the creator and CEO of Haunting the Haunts. She pioneered the spirit relationship development methodology, a groundbreaking system that transforms paranormal investigation from observation to immersive interaction. I want to hear more about this. A highlighted investigator with Get Haunted Midwest, she ventures into the heart of America's haunted landscapes, unleashing wild ideas and sparking profound discoveries. When not pushing the boundaries of reality, she channels their radical imagination into crafting the novel Alluring Disturbance, a spellbinding tale that redefines the genre. A sought-after speaker, she ignites stages across the Midwest, including Paracon events in Minnesota, Kansas, and Michigan. Please welcome to the show, boys and girls, ladies and children, children of all ages, Dr. Harley Black. Welcome to the show. How you doing, Harley? Oh no, we can't hear
Hello.
you. Oh yeah, perfect. We can hear you now. Awesome. Can you hear us?
No,
no,
can't.
I can't hear her now. Nope. No hearing, Doc. No. Please hold. Your call is important to us. No, not yet, Doc. I can't hear anything, Doc. Oh, she bounced out. She's going to probably rejoin us. Please hold as she figures stuff out. Oh, let me take a sip of my beer. It is warm. It's very humid up here. This nice cold Pilsner is really hitting the spot. Hold on. I think we have her back. Maybe she did. Doc, can you hear us? Harley? Hello? No. Still not here. We'll wait to see if she. Oh no, there she is again. Hold on. Here we go.
Okay.
Drum roll, please. Doc? No.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you, dear. If you want, you can. Yep, she's gonna go out. She'll come back in. We'll see what happens. Oh, no, yep, she's out. She's off the show. Ooh. Oh, good times. Screaming in the background. That's always wonderful.
Sorry about that.
No worries. It's all good. So as I was talking in the beginning of the show, I did end up going out to Gettysburg. One of the places that I was able to get to, other than the visitor center, was the cupola. So if anybody's ever seen the movie Gettysburg, the beginning of the film, General Buford, he's waiting for John Reynolds. He sees the Confederates coming in rows after rows after rows of hundreds of thousands of men. He has 2,700 cavalry officers, and he's trying to defend this position. He's trying to defend the high ground, and he's looking out this cupola, this like tower in the Lutheran seminary. I had to. They just opened it a couple of years ago. My friend bought the tickets. We went up the elevator 3 flights, and then we went and we climbed the stairs. And Christ, I almost didn't make it up those last like 5 steps. I had to really jump over like this 2-foot step at the top. When you get up there, ladies and gentlemen, you could see the entire valley. You could see Little Round Top, Big Round Top that was like easily 2 miles away. You could see all of Seminary Ridge. You could see the entire battlefield from the Peach Orchard down south, the Little Round Top. What else? The Valley of Death. All these wonderful places. There was another one that sounds horrible. I don't know. Devil's Den. Where Pickett's Charge was, right in the middle. You can see like the center of the Union line where it ended up being on Seminary Ridge. You can see Culp's Hill. You can see the Slaughter Pen. That's what it is right down there. Awful words or awful names. So these pieces of the battlefield where men just like got annihilated. It's horrible. It was like such not only heavy human presence, thinking like probably like 150,000 guys marched into this one little town, one little hush town in Pennsylvania, just to all kind of kill each other in awful ways. But on Memorial Day, not a better time to go and honor from both sides, the heroes from both sides who came and fought for their own liberty or beliefs or what have you. Oh, Doc is back on. We're going to see if we can hear her. Hello?
There. Can you hear me?
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. Little bit of technical difficulties, you know.
Doc, Harley, whatever we want us to call you, it happens to us all the time. It's not the first. It probably most certainly won't be the last time somebody has an issue on the show. So, welcome though. Finally, for getting on. It's nice to have you.
Thank you so much. I am super happy to be here.
Okay, so tell us what is your doctorate in? What do you study? What do you?
I have a doctorate in parapsychology and then a master's in metaphysics.
Oh, awesome! So you're a ghost doctor essentially.
Yeah.
What is it a parapsychologist does?
The same thing every other investigator does. It just I have a little piece of paper that says that I went to school for it.
Okay. All right. What do you get a degree in parapsychology these days?
At the Institute of Metaphysics and Humanistic Sciences in Florida City, Florida.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been involved in the paranormal, and what was the catalyst that pushed you in?
So, I've been investigating the paranormal for over 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
You don't look that old, do you?
I'm not. I started really, really young. So, my mom passed away when I was 7.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so I didn't really like have an interest or a curiosity into the paranormal. It was more of an exposure.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 8 years old, after like playing outside and running through like the fields and climbing trees and stuff, after I got home, I took a shower and then ran downstairs to my room, and I could feel like something was different in the air. And when I walked in my bedroom, my mom was sitting on my bed, like completely healthy, rejuvenated. Yeah. She died from cancer when she was only 30. So like the cancer really just took like all that vibrance and like glow out of her, but she had it all back. She looked perfect.
Did she look like a human? Was she clear, or was she like, could you see through her at all?
I could not see through her whatsoever when I initially saw her. And I just froze. I didn't say anything. It was like time stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then she like stood up and she kind of like just dissipated like a breath of air, like in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what was like the foundation for where I've gotten today.
Let me ask you something. As you were 7 when this happened.
Yeah.
As a person who just lost their mother, how did this affect you? How did this make you feel?
I think initially there was a lot of regret, a lot of anger, and then like finality, because like going through like the funeral and everything, she was at the hospital for a really long time. So we were used to not having her around.
Yep.
And I don't think I had fully understood when she passed away and when we did like our ceremonies and stuff at church. I don't think I understood what that really meant. But then when I saw her again, that finality really resonated. And then the fact that I froze and I didn't say anything, I didn't say hi, I didn't say I love you. I just kind of like a flashbang and just stood there in awe. And I made a vow like then, and I've repeated to myself like daily, you will never ever miss an opportunity to say hi.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
That's
I've
awesome.
been like chasing for like, I think initially it was like chasing like a messenger.
Yep.
Like find a ghost that I could talk to and reason with, to go into a realm where I couldn't, and give her a message like just come back like one time, just so then I would say something, I could say something. And as a little kid, that was like the foundation of it.
That's
Yeah.
that's an interesting one. So, what was your from there? What was your first investigation? Was it an investigation? Did you call it like a ghost hunt? Did you just go and looking for somebody to talk to relay a message? How did you
So
start doing that?
I was actually working as a mechanic,
Oh wow.
and one of the fellow technicians said, "I know of this house that's haunted." I said,
Mm.
"Okay, sure." And so we go and we go to this abandoned house, like half mile like off the road. Like there's no windows, no doors. Like this
Hmm.
place is just, I'm surprised we survived like going in and getting out. And then we were just taking like 30-second like video clips and just posting it online. And then once we left, we got into the van and we were leaving. Austin was the guy that was driving. His mom called him, and over the Bluetooth, she's like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" She was freaking out.
Mm.
Well, on one of the video clips that we posted, in the video clip, you hear what sounds like a really like tormented woman screaming in the background. And
Oh
the
wow.
video is of us four, like we're just like saying like goodbye or whatever. We're just goofing off. We're not watching any of this. We're not editing.
Right.
We're just dumb little kids. And then we went back to then try to like recreate it or to like get more evidence. And so those were like my very first two investigations, was us just going in there and just posting stuff on like Facebook, or excuse me, it wasn't even Facebook then, it was MySpace.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I
Back in
remember
the
that.
day. Back in the day, for sure.
Yeah, so that's where it all kind of started.
Nice. Trey, you got any questions? I'm going to throw it at you really quick. Dave, you got anything for our guest?
What was your most memorable experience as an investigator?
My most memorable experience would have been the first time I saw like a full-bodied apparition. Um and it like they were transparent, and it was more shadow than actual like human like coloring. And I just waved my hand up and I said hi, and the shadow like darted down this hallway and like turned sharply through like where it was a wall. There wasn't anything there that they could have turned into. And right above me, with no power or any utilities in the house, a light bulb turned on.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
that one
cool.
was fun.
Yeah, that's for sure. For sure. Why do you think that some people are scared of them? Like my girlfriend's mother says, "Don't bring ghosts to my house." And I walk into her house, and for the first time, I'm just like walking into a house, just normal. I haven't thinking about anything, and I walk into the living room where she's sitting, and I get this, and it hits me like, oh my god, there's somebody like. I'm looking upstairs, and I can see the open. It's like an open like stairwell, and you can see the upstairs. I'm like, oh my god, there's somebody like. I didn't tell her this, of course, but there's somebody like peering over these stairs, looking at me, and what she's like terrified of it. She doesn't want to know anything. I won't tell her anything. But why do you think that some people are absolutely terrified, and others are like yourself or myself or Drive for that matter, are absolutely comfortable with interactions with the dead?
I believe it starts from childhood. We have our imaginary friends. We see things. Our pineal glands are open. We're aware that hasn't been calcified over yet.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're talking to your quote unquote imaginary friend or a spirit, and mom or dad or whoever your parental guardian is telling you that that's not real, that's just pretend, you're not really seeing what you're seeing, stop talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's already ingrained in children that they should be afraid, or that, that's kind of like an out of bounds area.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So go on. Now, what about like somebody who's terrified of it?
I
I
think
don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a cultural thing a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
times too.
Well, that makes
Like,
sense.
especially like where you grow up in different cities, or even countries. We're in Mexico, they have like complete days of the dead,
Mm-hmm.
and worship and like communication. And then in other more conservative countries where it's like, no, you do not communicate, that is bad, just leave the dead where they are.
Right. Here in the United States, a lot of folks have. I'm not saying anything about any religious denomination. There's a lot of folks in the Christian religion, for example, who tell me it's blasphemous what I'm doing, but yet your whole religion is based around somebody that dies, and then rises from the grave and it's seen walking around. It's a ghost. So how is it that I'm wrong? I'm having these same experiences, but yet it's somehow wrong. You know what I'm saying? I can't really follow that.
I grew up in a religious family, so I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I grew up Roman Catholic, so
Yeah.
I definitely understand.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the Catholics are the same people that put out demonologists
Right.
and study the paranormal. But then if we do it, it's necromancy and we're all to be damned.
Right. Of course. The hell we go.
But
just,
in my backpack is always a rosary and a bottle of holy water.
okay.
So
that's good. You use that as a protection on any way you ever go, or
I do absolutely. I've been scratched. I've been punched.
wow.
I was a young investigator and thought I knew what I was doing, and thought provocation was the go-to on how you conduct yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
I've learned really quickly, when you decide to cuss out and be disrespectful in somebody's home, they are going to fight back.
For sure. So
Yeah.
you think these scratches emanate from a human spirit rather than, say, something? Everybody always pulls the demon card. Oh my God, it's a demon because you got scratched. Can it be a human that or an asshole spirit, for example? Can it be that rather than being a demon every time?
Well, does it? I don't think it has to be an asshole spirit. I think it could be just a friendly person, just that had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
A sweet old woman that would make you cookies any day of the week. But when you go in there and you start being disrespectful in her home, and expect her to then, be kind and polite to a transient person that's just there for a couple of hours,
Mm-hmm.
gets their little piece of equipment to make a different color, and then leaves and never comes back, it's not a surprise that she'd smack the crap out of you.
True, I can see that. I tell everybody, we're just talking to people here. I honestly, I believe 99.9% of the time we're just talking to people. Maybe there's something else, but I don't. I've known some pretty awful, human, sadistic people, pure evil for sure, that walk this earth. And they're not demons; they're just people. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
So a spirit relationship development was created when I found out that not everybody investigates the way I do.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that is, so when most investigations happen, we enter it as an observer. We sit behind the cameras and we just sit and we wait.
Yeah.
We don't take into account of how we as the investigator alter the environment with our personal energy, whether we're happy, sad, whether we're dominant or passive.
Yeah.
And then to further that, we don't respect like human psychology, because these are just people, right?
True. Right.
And so if they are intelligent and like spirits, right, and that's what we're going for most of the time, and they have memory and they have their autonomy, well then why wouldn't we think that that psychology would have passed over in the afterlife as well? So when you're making a friend, right,
Yep.
it takes over 100 hours to make like a good friend that you could call that person and like let them know about your day.
Yep.
For your best friend in the world, it takes over 300 hours of time spent. And that's dependability, reliability, respect, and mutual back and forth of spending time together.
Yes.
If we're only in one place for roughly 8 hours, and I'm being really, really generous with that time frame, and
Yes.
you expect to have a like deep relationship with somebody that you've never met, you've barged into their home, you're demanding them to act like a circus clown.
Yes.
Like that's not at all how it's not gonna work out very well. So spirit relationship development. So there is a fast route around the 300 or 500 hours, that it takes to actually build a relationship. And that's the first responder in response.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, like when you get to a car crash, we call an ambulance. We trust that EMT is going to take care of us. Are going to get us to the hospital. We fully trust them instantaneously. So how can we put that into the paranormal in our investigation? We go in there professionally dressed. You will never, ever see me walk into any location. I don't care how run down it is, ever in jeans and a hoodie. I'm always professionally dressed, because we interpret people that are dressed nice of authority figures. It's automatic in us. That's just the way society is in every single part of the world. You dress
Yeah.
nice, you know stuff. You are trustworthy for some weird reason,
Yep.
right? And then I'm also there with respect, and like I will let them know, like, my name is Harley. I want to communicate with you. I want this to be a a like collaboration together. Let's work together, not just make my stuff light up for me.
Yeah,
Our
right.
equipment is a tool for communication, not a tool to be amusement.
Okay, so how would you? So you would use like say a REM pod, or what are the tools that you use as a form of communication when you're on an investigation?
Everything that everybody else uses, I used the SLS cameras,
Yep.
K2s, millimeters, you name it. Cat balls, I love those.
Yes, I love cat balls because you can't manipulate it by any other means.
Right?
It's like doing the old like the ball and put a line of chalk around it and just like it's a
Yep.
ball. It's like my phone can't change the response. My phone can't manipulate it. The weather. Nothing's going to change what's going to happen with this piece of equipment because it doesn't react to all that stuff. Which is, I think it's awesome. We should have more stuff like that doesn't react to technology around us. But go on. I'm sorry.
No, I love your enthusiasm because I felt the same way when like they first were really brought out to like to be publicized, just the cat ball, and I was like, that is just so silly smart.
Yeah.
And I agreed they can't be manipulated in any other way. When they go off, it's like, oh my goodness. But it's a great, simple tool for somebody to use.
Mm-hmm.
What I also use is my own personal perception. I don't put labels on anything. If I get like an EVP or if we hear a knock, I don't automatically put a label on it like, oh, there was like a scream and they were angry and that's automatically a demon.
Right.
Like, can you imagine how much energy you have to like store up to get that raw out into like a digital recorder for us?
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you got to be like right there in the microphone. And so instead, I would say that there was an elevated, vocal tone of, if it's a male or female, if you can distinguish between that. But I wouldn't ever say it like they were angry or anything. I would ask to like step back away from the microphone so we can hear you more clearly and maybe we can get a better response.
Mm-hmm.
What is your experience with EVPs?
I've gotten some that I believe are EVPs, but I can't ever definitively say 100% if it's not background noise. I wouldn't ever personally put anything that I've captured out publicly and call it evidence, just because it isn't concrete enough for me.
Right, it's not 100%. It's your perspective on, or maybe other people in your group's perspective. But honestly, in the years I've been doing this, I'll go to like we'll have our little meetings after investigation, and we'll all play what we think we might have. And some of it's like, oh yeah, dude, that's definitely saying this. Yeah, that's what I got. It's 100% saying hello. Other ones it'll be like, what do you hear? Like, are you moving your bowels, dude? Are you fun? They're like, no, it sounds like a grunter. It sounds like everybody has their own different perspective, even if it's a word or a syllable. Somebody can even perceive that as something like from Get Out to like, hey, dude, go get me a beer. It could be. It's just all in the way we're hearing it. Everybody hears things differently, especially when it's at such a low level like that. It's tough to interpret completely and accurately, and everybody has their own perspective. I think that's what I'm getting at here with this long thing.
I think I've caught a lot of disembodied voices. Just recently, the woman that I'm currently renting from. So my house burnt down a year ago, so it's being rebuilt, and so I'm renting. It's totally fine. But so she owns the place I'm staying in, and then another house about 20 minutes from here, and it's been around since the mid 1800s, and she currently rents it for people that are on hospice, so they will go to this home to pass away, so they can be in a home setting, not in a hospital, and it's very admirable. And so she has me come over there, and I'm on the SLS camera, and I'm holding the camera in front of me, so you can see me in like both sides of the screen, the night vision and then just regular vision. And I was trying to say, where am I? or excuse me, I wasn't trying to say where am I. I was looking around for where I was in the room on the camera, and then you hear a voice come through the SLS camera say, "Where am I?" Because it wasn't mapping out us yet
Yep.
on the stick figures, and you can see my lips are not moving whatsoever in that clip,
That's
and it
pretty
was
good.
just disembodied, and I heard it audibly, and I was like, "What the heck?" That yeah, I catch way more disembodied voices than I consider anything for EVP is just because I guess I just don't trust my hearing.
Right. I've been. I think the disembodied voice for me is probably the most incredible because usually it's not just me that's hearing it, and then when you go back, it's like, oh my god, it's so like so chilling. I've been in an old schoolhouse and heard a child's voice say two different words, and it was just like, oh my god, like next level, like give you the like wicked chills. So it's always cool because you're almost like going to catch it on audio, which is amazing every single time. Excuse me. Go on. I'm sorry.
No, I think my next favorite device is something I just received. It is an IR like censored robot,
Oh wow.
and he's on 2 wheels, and he just roams around. But if you move your hand left or right, he will turn left or right. He makes noises. You can hear it, and you can understand what he's saying. It's like, but it just says beep, so it'll be like put me down when he's picked up. And I've actually had him be physically picked up by something that I couldn't see.
Did you see the doll? The
I
robot?
did. I actually have it on video. You can see him being
Holy
lifted
shit.
up, and you can hear him audibly say, "Put me down."
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's definitely pretty insane. So wait, you're out in the Midwest, Doc?
Yep, I'm in Minnesota.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, we're here in New England. What is the what's some of the most haunted places out there that you've investigated?
The Sweets Hotel in Leroy, Minnesota. It is on the border of Minnesota and Iowa. That is, it's like a hidden gem. So it's not really that publicized. Not a whole lot of investigators have gone in there to contaminate it yet. But the interactions that you get personally are phenomenal. I haven't gotten a whole lot, like as far as visual evidence or nothing really on the SLS, but the personal experiences, the goosebumps and the static electricity and the pressure on your chest, and it's just very, very overwhelming there sometimes.
Yeah, that's cool. The pressure on your chest, I get it on my back, back of my neck. What can you attribute to that to? What do you think that's our body picking up like EMF, or what do you think that is?
So you like beer?
Yeah, a little beer.
I hate beer.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You
That's
just haven't
okay.
tried it up here. So I think that's what it is. Go on, dear.
But so I think the way so we have to humanize what isn't human, right? So we are creating words and using the English language and any other language in the world to try to describe what we're feeling and what we experience with the terminologies that we have in our physical reality. So I don't like beer, but you do. So our vibrations are different. You feel it in your back. I feel it in my chest. I think it's just like that. It's just we all experience it a little bit different.
I mean, it happens in my chest. It will, and then it will turn to more. No, I'm. You don't know me from a hole in the wall. If you ask anybody I know, I have like zero anxiety in my life. I worked in mental health for 26 years. I'm a very calm, mellow individual. But there's times where that will happen, and then anxiety starts to kick in, and I start to like the room shrinks. It feels like it's like right here, like the wall is right here, and I'm like, it's all different. It's all different feelings. It's all different sensations I feel, and it builds more and more and more if I ignore or if I try to suppress. What are your thoughts on that, Doc?
I'll get it where like it feels like somebody's tickling my belly.
Oh God.
And so I will laugh at really inappropriate times. And it's not because I'm laughing at the circumstances or like, the conversations or what's being, I just can't help it. That's how how my body reacts.
Okay.
And
All right.
I've
No, I'm sorry. Go
never
ahead.
met. Oh, sorry. I've
No, go
never
ahead.
met like two people that like experience it entirely the same. Like
Right.
we might have like the similarities with the chest, but you're like your back and this and how it feels like it's closing in on you. I've
Mhm.
never personally experienced it like that. So I think it's just I like to compare it to food. People like certain foods, and we just experience it a little different.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't breathe, and then I get a migraine
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
when I'm
wow.
around certain spirits.
My ears are popped too, or I get pressure. I've noticed that too in the past. It's
Yeah,
just
feel
different
the pressure in the
sensations
air.
for it. Some people, if I tell like a layperson or a layperson like a muggle who doesn't experience this, they say, oh, either buddy you're crazy or buddy you're a medium. I don't consider myself to be special empathic. I have seen what I believe is ghosts, absolutely. I've heard holy shit a ton of times. I've captured on audio holy shit a ton more times. But I don't consider myself special. What would you feel, Doc, that where's the line between like medium special and like just like an experiencer? Or
I
is there a line?
I don't think there's a line. I think that's all up to personal interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
I would never ever consider myself a medium. I
No.
would never state that, but I can meet somebody that I've never met ever in my entire life and know what is going on in their current life that is an issue. And so I can give you an example. I walked into a convenience store and I could tell the man was upset. And immediately I knew that his best friend had just passed away from a fentanyl overdose.
Jesus.
No idea why. And I looked at him, I was like, I'm so sorry about your friend, passing away. Fentanyl is a huge issue right now.
Yeah.
And he just looked stark white and just turned around and walked away, and he wouldn't help me. And somebody else had to go. And it came out of my mouth, and sometimes I don't think before I speak.
But
And
you
I
knew this, apparently.
Just instantly.
So
But I will not call myself a medium. I won't ever claim that. And I don't know where this stuff comes from.
So
it just happens.
It comes from the universe, apparently. It's like Carl Jung. Carl Jung talked about synchronicity, the universe talking to us through our subconscious. Isn't that what a medium is? Essentially, they get this like information that no one else would know, and they're spewing it out of you. I don't know. I would call that sometimes mediumship, but then again, I wouldn't call what I do mediumship. I just think that it's my perception. I don't know. But
I think you can put a lot of toppings on a sundae, and everybody's going to call that sundae something a little bit different.
Yeah, okay, that's a good word for it. That's a good way to explain it.
I use food a lot for my analogies.
Well, I'm a fat gay, so I can definitely appreciate that. So what's the book about, Doc? What your book title is? Sorry, I'm
Alluring Disturbance.
Yeah. What's the book about? What are you writing about?
It is a female serial killer.
Ooh.
And her victims are the spirits she investigates. And this, so she's a little twisted, but so the theory is that within the first 72 hours after death, most people that die in like tragic ways, they stay with their bodies.
Okay.
And so she tortures and then will kill her subjects in hopes that they will stay next to their body for about 72 hours, so then she can investigate and get answers from the afterlife.
That's pretty far out. That's holy shit. That's like a good bad guy type role.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then her whole. What was that? I'm sorry. So it will be released on June 16th.
Oh, day after my birthday. Fantastic. Nice.
Yes, and then Spirit Relationship Development will be out on June 14th.
And what's that about? That's something different, I take it.
So that book is entirely about investigating the paranormal in an entirely different way. and it puts out my methodology in the 3-pillar framework of your foundation with like controlling your own self and grounding yourself and being, aware of your um emotions when you enter a space when you're
Oh
investigating.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Clinical documentation, which is, not giving what your evidence labels, just documenting exactly what happened so that
Hmm.
other researchers can take that information and then it's actually usable, not there's a demon here, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's so non-scientific. As investigators now, so this is speaking of scientific. While the paranormal has had somewhat of a quiet scientific history that not a lot of people like really even recognize because they don't believe this is an actual science, even though scientists have actually studied this, well-known scientists have actually studied this paranormal research. How can you present the data? How can you present your findings um, to a skeptical world who maybe don't so much believe in this? How can you make it
with
more scientific?
with repeatable data.
Okay.
And again, with using the SRD methodology, you're not only building relationships with the spirits, you're controlling yourself. You're not bringing your outside influences inward. You're not taking your perception or how you feel about the interaction into the setting.
Hmm.
With clinical documentation, you are just the facts. The time, date, what happened, where it happened. Nothing about, well, I felt it was this or I think it was that. Just cut that all out. And just, if you look at just facts, you're going to have a lot better response.
Yeah, Shared Paranormal says grounding is important. Every investigation, I take my team on Ocean State Paranormal. We go into the location. We get to know. We walk around. Everybody, gets a tour or whatever, wherever we happen to be, and we all pick a spot and we all sit and just be quiet and just like listen to the building, listen to the sounds outside, listen to ourselves, just ground ourselves, breathing. So many people go into these things like full of energy, full of adrenaline, and every bump, every noise is a ghost. Like, no, it's not. And it's very, it's much more easier to recognize that stuff when we're calm and in a peaceful spot. So I think that the grounding piece is huge before any investigation. And people who are like naturally scared of this, just go sit in a building, just relax. You're talking to people. Just put that in your head, So I really like that a lot. Di, what are your thoughts?
I also, excuse me, my throat's going in and out tonight. I also think that grounding yourself as far as I hear a lot of people say like going barefoot outside
Mm.
as far as grounding yourself, grounding your energy with earth, however it works. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that that is also a good type of grounding to do before you were to investigate, especially if there's a haunting on the grounds.
Yep.
I completely agree with you. When I know I'm going for an investigation, I will start my, I guess we'll just call it a ritual for lack of a better word,
Hmm.
where I will cut out like all like outside influences. So like social media, anything that has to do like with electronics, I will just completely cut it out. Um, I
Hmm.
will take out all caffeines, all alcohols, anything that could like alter my clarity. I just completely subtract for that 2 weeks
Hmm.
until the
Oh
night of.
wow.
Then I super dose on caffeine.
Of course. Why
But
at night? Why at night, Doc? Why? I've investigated all times of the day. You just mentioned at night and caffeine. So why are we, as investigators, why is it more important to investigate at night? Your thoughts?
the lack of sound,
Yeah, yeah.
just
Controlling the
the clarity
environment.
there, it's less people out and about to contaminate your investigation.
Yep, 100%, 110%. There's not people out mowing their lawns, driving by honking the horns, people walking outside, people playing music in their cars really loud. It's not about guys. It's not about like being more spooky at night, which kind of is sometimes, but not really. That's not what it's about. About controlling the environment for sure. 110% agree. Now, so this data that we collect, this research that we do, this consistent stuff that we're doing, would it be able to be replicated by another investigator? Your work. So that's like the the ultimate scientific evidence-based research paper is always you can replicate anybody's what they do, and that's what makes science from what I understand. Could somebody do that with your data, with your research?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I lay it out in the 3-pillar framework step by step on exactly what to do. And I'm not telling you to like kick out your equipment. I'm not telling you to change who you are. I'm
Right.
giving you the tools to create the space to invite the spirits to work with you
Mm-hmm.
instead of being a circus clown and demand them to act for you.
Yeah.
That is the entire premise of what I do is let's be cooperative and, collaboration with this, not a demand.
Yeah, for sure. Now I know you want people to run out and grab your book and read that, and you don't want to throw it all on a podcast. But can you talk a little bit about these 3 pillars? Is it more than just, approach them like people? Is it more than that approach, or is it that?
Yeah. So we have the pillar 1 is our foundation. That's our grounding. Pillar 2 is our clinical documentation, and then pillar 3 is our safety and ethics and just being polite. And then within each pillar, I go into a bit more detail on how to, I guess, ground in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also put in there different investigations where I failed and I didn't follow my, protocols at the beginning, and I didn't have any form of structure. And I explain on how the structure was built, because it wasn't something that I just thought of overnight. It was failing time and time again and seeing what worked and what didn't work that then created spirit relationship development. And then when I found out that everybody was still using provocation and it going in there as it's an entertainment, not as a right, as documentation and really trying to interact with these people like people.
Yes.
That's what really drove me to write the book, was to help the investigator that hasn't been in the field, or even the ones that have. And this is just a different way to look at it. And I can promise you it will change your investigation when you go in there treating people like people.
100%, 110%, 110%. As somebody's worked in mental health for as long as I have, building rapport is the first step. Building that alliance with the client is the first step. That you can't expect them to accept what you're going to say or want to work with you at all if they have no rapport with you. The same thing. I think the same thing goes to the dead. The more I investigate a place, the more active they get, the more active they seem, the more willing to interact and like manifest themselves. Holy shit. In some of these places, do you feel like the moon or like the tides or the weather or like the geological survey have anything to do with the location's activity?
Yes and no.
Okay, please explain.
I think that it can have influence on a place if you want it to.
Okay.
Because I think it's really up to the investigator and how they conduct themselves, right? If you believe that it's the moon, if it's the weather, if it's the time of month, whatever it is to you, if you believe that that's, what made the evidence more prominent and that's, the best video, you've ever had, then good, I'll say that it is.
Are these times that you would like, all right, I got an investigation coming up, I want to book this month. Let me do it on the 18th because that's a full moon. Is that something that you're planning for, or is that something that you'll be like, it doesn't matter, either one way or the other?
I would never ever plan for the moon cycle. I'm just more of just go with the flow. Whatever day's open.
Yeah. Absolutely. Jai, what are your thoughts on the rain and the moon and the thunderstorms? Does that, in your experience, does that affect anything there?
I believe the moon has a lot to do with it deals with the tides. If it can control the tides, if that's the case, then
right,
I'm sure it can control a lot more.
As a mental health worker, I've definitely seen it, a difference in people during a full moon. Holy shit. There's not enough research, of course, but it's so a thing.
True.
The lunar cycle, it is. Yeah. It's not just a thing, boys and girls. Not just a lunacy. That's just a fun word.
I completely agree with that with the living.
Yeah.
As soon as a full moon hits,
Yeah.
You don't even have to look at the
Yeah,
sky. You
yeah.
just know.
Everybody just starts acting funny and stuff. That's
Yep.
weird. For sure. So the CEO of Haunting the Haunts. What? Tell us a little bit more about Haunting the Haunts, Doc. What is that all about?
So Haunting the Haunts is my company, and I that's just
Oh,
the brand that I chose for investigating. Yeah, that's that's just my company name, and then people are able to find me online and book me for house cleansings and just to come in and
house
see if their
cleansings.
house is haunted, or just to have somebody to talk to if they're having some unexplained experiences that they
All
just
right.
need somebody that'll understand.
Okay. So if somebody wanted to have you come in, I would call you up. Hey, I want you to come and cleanse my house. It's haunted. What are your steps into doing that? How do you go about doing that?
I just have a sit down conversation with people first
Hmm.
and really just kind of pick their brains on why they think it is and what do they have going on and you know, what would they like from me? Like, what can I do to help them?
Hmm.
Um, and then from there, I professionally discern whether or not it's one of those you need to see your general care provider, or if I can actually really do some help with,
All
some
right.
sage
Yeah, because
and
there
some
are
prayers.
physical and mental health conditions that will cause somebody to believe that their house is haunted when it's just natural. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Um, so when you do go forward with a blessing, you feel like the person is mentally sound, is not having any physical issues, that things that they're describing is probably what they're experiencing. How would you go about doing a blessing?
Uh, Typically, I use prayers from the Catholic faith and then sage
Yep.
and holy water,
Okay. And what
just to cover both spectrums of the field.
sage is used for? What's I know the purpose
Spades.
of. You explain to me what the purpose of sage is.
Sage is used just for clearing and cleansing.
Mm.
The smoke in it with the shell and the feathers is a Native American ritual
Yep.
for
Yep.
to clean your soul and your spirit, to clean the spaces, and it's I believe it's really really effective. And then just the aroma itself is able to kind of give people a semi euphoric type of feeling to really
Hmm.
just get them calm.
Makes sense. I know the Roman Catholic Church. I was an old boy for a number of years in the Roman Catholic Church. They use the incense, they burn the herbs, they burn the different stuff for the celebration of mass and whatnot. And just the smell of it burning, just it's positive. It's a good flow, and like the native cultures, like you said, use it for a number of years. So you intertwine different kind of beliefs and different traditions, and you put them all into one. That works. Say somebody is like a Muslim or Jewish, and they're experiencing what do you use the same techniques?
I would. I don't alter based on their religious beliefs.
Okay.
Obviously, I would be 100% respectful in any way I can. If they're, for instance, were against sage for whatever reason, I would be respectful of that and not use it.
Okay, that makes
But
sense.
the mishmash that I've kind of put together, I do pull from like ancient traditions, Native American traditions, Catholic traditions, everything, and I just kind of put it in a blender,
Mm-hmm.
and um, it just works. I
Interesting.
don't want to be biased. I want to be able to bring everything in, because if you bring everything in, then you can't miss anything.
That's a good point. You're covering like all your bases. I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. Got your thoughts on that? Anything you got for Sage? I know you come from a Native American area. Anything on that
Yeah,
there?
it just makes me think of my childhood with the Native Americans. I believe we had some type of Native American haunting because we had sorry about the background noise. We
Nah,
had
it is what it is. Yeah.
it's hard to keep people quiet. um we would find Indian arrowheads,
Hmm.
Native American, I'm sorry, I should say Native American. We would find arrowheads and pottery, but yet our house every night was a heavy haunting, and the Native American artifacts would be like right outside our door,
Hmm.
like they were that close to the house, less than a foot away. So it made me think of that.
You, Doc, you feel anything about like you're talking about stuff like right outside the door, attachment there? You believe that artifacts or things from the past, like a weapon or a diary, can hold on to certain energies?
I absolutely do.
Okay,
That without a doubt. So my home that burnt down, it was built in 1910,
nice.
and here in Minnesota, when the Sioux uprising happened,
Okay.
there was a battle right in my backyard. We have found arrowhead musket balls, and we have
Wow.
seen full-bodied apparitions. Multiple people have actually of a full Native American in full headdress, and he just walks up and down the property line,
Wow.
and like completely solid individual.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, you will see like a man that would have been like, he looks like he would just been a civilian in the area, but just like all brown clothing,
Mm-hmm.
and he like follows him in the same path. Like you'll see the one day, and then you'll see like the civilian later. And just the town over from here, they had a battle that was kind of gruesome where I believe it was 300 Sioux Indians attacked the Hutchinson Fort,
Yep.
and they ended up killing 33 Hutchinson civilian men, and then only 3 of the Sioux Native American warriors were killed. And I shouldn't say only. I kind of worded that messy. That's how there were 33 of the Hutchinson people were killed, and then 3 of the Native Americans, and then that's really kind of what triggered the mass, I would say, murder of the Sioux Indians after that when they did the
Yeah,
mass
yeah.
hanging.
We have a whole awful Native American history up this way in New England called the King Philip's War, 1675 to 76, and a number of few wars after that where we just absolutely the colonists absolutely annihilated the Abenaki, the Wampanoag populations here in New England. Absolutely bloodbath, slaughter, women, children, sick, elderly, not only warriors but everything in between. Just one like an absolute genocide of the population.
Yeah,
And you got to feel like areas like that. I've been to investigate recently a few areas. I did say one of them I didn't even know it was there. And it was an old battle from the King Philip's War. There was like screaming. There was like probably voices. We heard like we got like EVPs. I had a meeting there. Like she had no idea what happened there. We just picked her. I told her the address. She met us there. It was like a trail on the side of the woods. She walked in. She was like describing like facets of the battle that like all right, this woman would like have to actually like do an incredible amount of research to know about some of this, like at least an hour or two beforehand. And we give her the address like 15 minutes before. What are your thoughts on mediumship? What do you think thoughts on mediums? Are they as accurate? Do they have a direct line to the dead? Are they just getting lucky? What are your thoughts?
I think that they have like a very unique gift.
Mm-hmm.
I think that in general, everybody has the ability to open up themselves to that,
Mm-hmm.
to get that much information. I think that most people have to do a lot more rigorous training and stuff with their bodies, and the ones that don't, that's just fantastic, and I absolutely respect their craft.
Mm-hmm. How would you recommend somebody go about maybe someone like myself or yourself who has that little bit of something? How would you recommend somebody open that door up, open that eye up, if you will? More so, what would help you to do that?
So I've been told meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot sit still to save my life.
Right, I can't either. So
So,
that's a
um, so I have not found like another, I guess, tool that people like you or I are able to access at this current time to
mm-hmm.
help us out. But I think engaging in the like communication with the paranormal, I think that automatically kind of like fast tracks it a bit, because you
Yeah,
may not be able to see clearly like what happened in the past, but that personal intuition, that feeling, um, definitely intensifies over the investigations over years.
yeah, for sure. Jai, your thoughts on mediumship and developing?
Um, I mean, I believe that there definitely is mediumship. I believe there's a lot more people that claim to be mediums that aren't.
Hmm.
Just being honest,
Everybody
because
wants to feel special, right?
yeah, and it's definitely it's not a question whether you are or not. If you're given messages and you relay those messages and it's confirmed, then you're a medium. It's that simple.
Hmm.
Um, then you have that ability because you're speaking to spirit and spirit speaking to you and they're telling you what to say to someone and usually it'll tell you something that nobody else knows.
Holy shit! Don't they have a tomorrow? Tomorrow's the anniversary of my wife's passing 7 years ago today. Tomorrow, I had mediums for the last 7 years telling me things that they shouldn't know. Like, how the fuck do you know that? How do you know what her last words to me were? It was just her and I. How did you know that? I've never told anybody this. How do you know this? How do you know that I painted my bedroom this color to honor my wife, who's dead, who also liked that color? How do you know that? I didn't tell anybody that. Some shit like that. What are your thoughts on that, Doc? Is it parapsychology? Is it like Jung said? Is it synchronicity? Is it the universe talking to us? Is it my dead wife talking to me? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's still just one of those mysteries, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
we want the answers. We are hungry for answers.
Oh,
That's
for
why we're
sure.
in this field.
Yeah.
And that's just one of those mysteries. I don't think that we'll ever fully have the answers to. But I
Unfortunately.
love the fact that somebody is able to obviously reach over to that other side to learn that stuff about you, to tell you this stuff about, those last words, the color paint. Like that's remarkable and that's very admirable. I love that so much.
Those little things that people could tell you that, like, how the fuck did you know that? How did you know that? I've had we had like a mediumship reading. It's like a wife. It's like a year after she died. With a local medium, Rowan Comtois. He's an amazing, amazing guy. Some of the things that he's told me is like blown my mind times 10. And we had 15 people. Before I left for the event, I'm like, Mom, it's a sold out event. It was in a small room. Only could fit like 59 people. Out of those people, 15 of them were there for Heather. 15 were there because they're expecting maybe a sign, something. We went there. Everyone got a sign. Everyone got a message. They all, it was all of them was from Heather. And then the medium Roland got up in front of everybody. He's like, "Hey, there's 15 people here to see me today. I'm so excited. That's such a great turnout for me for Heather." He's talking like as he's Heather. It's just like it blows your mind. Some of the ways they come through, whether it be cell phones through a medium, people get text messages from like her number that's been long turned off, and it's still like very poignant, very like personal. Friends of hers, very personal messages. Your thoughts on how spirits communicate beyond your regular like EVPs or or like disembodied voices? Have you ever seen text messages? Have you ever seen anything beyond your normal form of communication from spirit?
Money raining in my shower.
What? I'm sorry. What's that?
Money like raining down in my shower. Like
Like
just
dollar bills or like
No, it
coins?
wasn't that cool. It was coins. It was actually pennies.
Oh wow!
And they were not like this year's pennies. They were so funny. They were the year my dad passed away.
Oh wow!
Um, and it was not that long ago, and I really haven't discussed this, but I was in the shower and here actually, and
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, all these pennies just started falling from the air. There's nothing above the shower. It's
Mm-hmm.
like an old clawfoot bathtub. This
Mm-hmm.
building that I'm in is from the 1800s. Like,
Nice.
and these pennies were falling out of the air and they were from 2022.
Jesus.
And there were three of them and they were super shiny. Like they were like brand new, like mint pennies. And I don't have an explanation for it. And that's the only person that I know consciously that died that year.
That's incredible. That's pretty. At what point do we consider it still coincidence, or is there no coincidences, Doc? What are your thoughts on that
I think
in relation to
everything
your
is
story?
what you believe it is.
Yep.
I'm never going to tell anybody that they're wrong or
Mm-hmm.
what they saw or what they feel that they saw was incorrect because
Mm-hmm.
I believe that they believe that that was true.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't there. I can't say whether or not it was right or wrong or if it was or was not.
True.
And even if it wasn't, and it was just an orb from a light from their camera, I'm still not going to crush their hopes and dreams that they caught a spirit on that photo because
Right.
that's not my place to crush dreams. I'm going to say that's a very interesting photo, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm really happy that you captured that for yourself.
And yeah,
I
it
try to be
gives you
as
hope.
positive as possible.
Okay, fair enough. Now, what about what on that same note? What are your thoughts on orbs as an investigator? How do you feel about orbs?
They are what you believe they are.
Okay, if
Personally,
you the investigator, you're on a case. You're using digital photography, which in the last like 20 or so years, orbs have become way more prevalent with digital photography. You capture an orb. What are your thoughts? Is that a spirit, or is that like a reflection, or what are
I
your
just
thoughts?
delete the photo. I
Yeah,
don't even give it a second look.
amen.
Personally, it has to be a mist,
Yeah,
or an orb that isn't round. If it's like one of those squiggly snake lines,
yep.
then I may give it a second glance. I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you just recently I was taking pictures of my house being rebuilt, and there was a green stick that was in one frame, then the next frame, then gone. Right?
All right.
Is a dragonfly.
Okay.
Like, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'd never seen it. And so I'm like on my laptop, like 300 times zoom, and just really like, oh my gosh, there's no way I caught that, Native American guy on camera. And I
Right.
was like just gung ho and like calling my kids, like, you guys, never mind, don't come over. Just
Never
kidding.
mind. I'm just kidding. It's
Yeah.
nothing.
But
Yeah.
I was very, very excited. I was going to show everybody. But yeah.
It gives a lot. It gives a lot of folks hope. But then unfortunately, you look at it and you really look at it, and a lot of times it is like people will send me photos. Buddy, look at this. I have an orb. There's an orb in my photo. I'm like, okay, let me look at the photo, and you can see in the background like there's a cabinet behind you, dude, and it's got a glass door, and you can see the reflection in the cabinet in the glass, and it almost matches like where the orb is in your photograph. Not saying it's a reflection, dude, but kind of looks like it to me. I don't know. That's and they're like, oh, and their hopes and dreams are crushed because everybody
Yeah.
wants to get a ghost photo, and they're not, unfortunately, as common as you would think. Yeah,
See, I don't give them that. I don't do the whole dream crushing. I
yeah,
can't do it. I feel too bad. I have too much of a heart. I'm too much of an empath. I don't want to crush them. Like, that's a very interesting photo. My
yeah,
goodness, I'm so happy for you. That must have been a great investigation. I'm glad that you walked away with
yeah. That's a great way.
that.
That's nice. It doesn't. I get it. It doesn't like break someone's heart, but when it's like blatant and like, dude, you can see the reflection in your car, like your light here, and it's bouncing off the light, and that's what's causing the light reflection in the digital photography. I like to. I don't know. Maybe I'm a hope and dream person. I don't know. Um, have you had any great photos that you say like, whoa, this is not an orb. This is not an orb. This is a ghost.
Not one.
Not one.
Not a single one, no.
Not a
But I
yeah,
don't
no.
want to get the hate mail later either. And like
True.
people blow up my social media like, she is so rotten. She told me my ghost wasn't a ghost. I would much rather just be nice and not get the hate mail. I like the
Yeah.
nice emails.
That's true. Somebody posted. I got into trouble like about 6 months ago. Somebody posted on a site, and they're like, "Look at the graveyard. Like you can see the ghost. It's right next to the gravestone." And I'm like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, that kind of looks like a bush. I zoom in a little bit more, and you can see the leaves. Like it's a bush, dude. It's a bush. Oh my god! I was like, forever. I was kicked off the page. Like I'm just offering like my perspective. It kind of looks like a bush. Here's where you can see the leaves on the bush. I don't think it's a ghost. I'm sorry. And automatic they cut me right loose. So
When keeping it real goes wrong.
right. And I'm a dream person and a hope crusher. I just like to be a realist sometimes. I don't know. I've had photographs that I thought was the next great thing, and then people were like, no, buddy, it's like the light. Look at the light coming off the bag, and oh shit, yeah. Or the voice is the voice. No, nobody. I had like an upset stomach that night. It's just I tell everybody not to whisper. Everybody's like, oh yeah, we won't whisper. And sure enough, there's always that one fucking guy that's whispering. You're killing me, dude. You're killing me. Shut up. Before we wrap up, Jay, any last questions you got for our guest tonight?
I just want to know if somebody has a question or needs to contact you for an investigation. How would they go about getting a hold of you?
Absolutely. So you can find me on any social media platform under Dr. Harley Black or just harleyblack.com. Or I will be at 3 different Paracons thus far. September 25th, 26th, and 27th, I will be at Central Kansas Paracon in Hutchinson, Kansas. Then I will be in Rock Island Roadhouse, a Stoic Expo on October 3rd. And then the Blood Moon Parafest in Eaton Rapids, Michigan on October 17th and 18th.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll be happy to see everybody, and you can ask me any questions. But yeah, you can find me Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all under Harley Black.
It sounds like a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the Paracons. I'm really, really just excited to like meet all the fans and be able to be face to face with everybody.
It's always Paracons. I've gone to them for years, and it's always been a good time. Never had a bad experience. It's always nice to meet people from like other states and other that's why I do the show. I tell people all the time: meet people from Australia, people from the UK, meet people from like right up the road in Connecticut, just to know how other people do it, how other people perceive the paranormal or whatever. It's always kind of cool to share ideas and share experiences. It's really a great time. So people, if you guys are out in the Midwest, wanted to see this lady, she was great. It was great having you tonight, Doc.
Thank you.
I don't have next week's guests yet on the schedule. However, join me and my beer show, Three Dudes Brews, the last call a week from Thursday, as we welcome 18-time Emmy Award winning Nesson and ESPN host Charlie Moore, the Mad Fisherman, is going to join us. We're going to drink beer. We're going to talk about beer and fishing and beer, and what beers to drink when you're fishing, and what fish to catch while you're beering. All that and more, I'm sure. And tune in for we just released Three Dudes Brews, Three Dudes Brews at the Guild in Pawtucket, one of the America's largest breweries here in Little Rhode Island. For Dr. Harley Black, for Janita Jai, this has been Buddy Thayer of The Ghost and the Goat. Tune in for all our great stuff. Have a good week. Go Red Sox. For the love of God, I need them to stop winning games so I can talk about baseball and the Red Sox again, because I hate the freaking Yankees. Have a good week, guys. Peace out. That's it.